Hi, I'm Mrs. Wolf. I'm an ELL teacher at Northwest Middle School. Today, I'll be teaching a lesson about July 4th for newcomer ELLs. In this lesson, we will practice speaking. Your objective is to tell the history of July 4th. July 4th is sometimes called America's birthday. Why? The United States of America began on July 4th, 1776. Learn the story and tell it to someone in your family. This year, in 2020, the USA will be 244 years old. In this lesson, we will review the months and days of the week, repeat vocabulary words, watch a video, read a poem, and tell the history of July 4th. This is a calendar for the year 2020. You can see the year is divided into 12 months. Let's practice saying the names of the months. Repeat after me. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Good job. Look at the calendar again. It's also divided into weeks. Every 7 days is called a week. Now we will sing a song to practice saying the days of the week. Sing along when you are ready.
Days of the week, 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 days of the week. Monday on this Monday, this Tuesday on this Wednesday, this Thursday on this Friday, and then this Saturday. This Sunday on this Monday, this Tuesday on this Wednesday, this Thursday on this Friday, and then this Saturday.
Great job singing. Here is a calendar that shows July 2020. You can see July 4th will be on Saturday this year. Okay, now we will say some vocabulary words that will help you tell the story of July 4th. Repeat after me. Birthday. A birthday is the day a baby was born. For example, if this baby was born on February 5th, next year on February 5th, she will celebrate her birthday. Colonies. Colonies are areas under the control of another country. There were 13 colonies in America before the United States became a country. Here is one map of the 13 colonies. Here is another map. It shows the 13 colonies in America and Great Britain. The 13 colonies were under the control of Great Britain. Colonist. A colonist is a person who lived in the colonies. Angry. Angry is a feeling, like mad. King George. King George was the king of Great Britain in 1776. Here we see King George, and here we see Great Britain. Taxes. Taxes are money you pay to the government. The 13 colonies had to pay taxes to the king in Great Britain. Independence. Independence means you do something by yourself. This girl is showing independence, putting on her shoe by herself. This boy is not showing independence. His teacher puts on his shoe. Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence is a paper that some colonists wrote and signed on July 4th, 1776. It said they wanted to be independent of King George. Now we'll watch a video about July 4th, 1776. As you watch, listen and think about what happened first, next, then, and last.
The 4th of July, or Independence Day, is a fun summer holiday. A day when you may see lots of flags, parades, and fireworks. But have you ever wondered what the celebration is about? Back in 1775, the 13 American colonies rebelled against the control of Great Britain and sparked a war, known in the United States as the Revolutionary War. After a year of fighting, the Second Continental Congress took a vote and decided that it was time for the colonies to officially declare their independence from British rule. They wanted to be free and to be in charge of their own government. On June 11, 1776, the Continental Congress appointed Thomas Jefferson, along with Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, Robert Livingston, and Roger Sherman, to write a document to explain why they were declaring their independence. Thomas Jefferson wrote most of it, but after some changes by the other members of the committee, they presented it to Congress on June 28th. At first, not everyone agreed to vote for independence. They argued and debated the issue for days. Finally, on July 2nd, the agreement to declare independence passed. Congress made a few changes to the words of the document, and 2 days later, on July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was officially adopted. Not only did the Declaration of Independence state that the colonies would no longer be under British rule, it said that governments only exist for the good of the people they govern, and that all people are equal. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because July 4th is the day that the colonies said that they were free from Great Britain, the 4th of July is sometimes called America's birthday. Every year since then, Independence Day has been celebrated on July 4th with parades, music, gun salutes, cannon fire, and yes, even fireworks. I hope you enjoyed learning about the 4th of July today. Goodbye till next time.
Okay, now let's think about what happened first. Look at these pictures. Yes, good job. First, there were 13 colonies in America. What happened second? Yes, second, the colonists had to pay taxes to King George in Great Britain. What happened third? Right, many colonists were angry about the taxes. What happened fourth? Very good. Some colonists were so angry, they wrote the Declaration of Independence. It was signed on July 4th, 1776. And now you know what happened last. Every year on July 4th, Americans celebrate Independence Day, or America's birthday. Okay, next we will read a poem to learn more about the story of July 4th, 1776. Okay, read with me. Beginnings. They weren't the first. Native Americans were here when the settlers from England and Holland appeared. Exhausted and hungry, the settlers staked out their land, built houses and churches, and worked hand in hand. Okay, I'm going to stop and highlight this word right here. The settlers staked out their land. Settlers is another word for colonist. So this is talking about the 13 colonies. Okay, let's read. But the king made the laws. The king made the rules. The history of Britain was taught in these schools. Okay, I'm also going to highlight the king. We know that they were colonies in America. The king, like a King George of Great Britain, was in charge of them. Okay, let's read. The children rolled hoops as they dawdled to school. These settlers lived under a strict British rule. For decades and decades, they crossed the rough seas. The king said, "Pay taxes on our stamps and our teas." Oh, yes, that's also important. Let's highlight that. The colonists had to pay taxes to the king. Okay, and let's finish reading. And the king made the laws, the king made the rules. The history of Britain was taught in these schools. Okay, and here we see a map that shows the 13 colonies, Great Britain, and the colonists or settlers. Okay, now let's read. Read with me. But in this new land, restless whispers were stewing. Far away from their ruler, something epic was brewing. In 1773, they decided to revolt. They went into Boston and dumped tea off a boat. Still, the king made the laws, the king made the rules. The history of Britain was taught in these schools. The Boston Tea Party news spread far and wide. "We're sick of your taxes," these settlers cried. Oh, here is something important. I'm going to highlight this. When they say we're sick of your taxes, that means the settlers or the colonists are angry. Okay, let's finish reading. Our money should be spent on American land. Freedom, they cried. We must all take a stand. The battle began. No more faraway rules. American history should be taught in these schools. Okay, let's read. Declaration of Independence. The battle raged on. We will govern alone. We are done with the laws set down by the throne. They fought. The tide turned. An end was in sight. It looked like the patriots might win this long fight. These soldiers were weary. Many battles were done. British soldiers retreating. The war almost won. You can see some pictures where the colonists were fighting the king's soldiers. Okay, let's read. 56 men from the 13 new states gathered together to sign and create the Declaration of Independence so the whole world would see just why they were fighting. They had to be free. It was signed July 4th, 1776. So here are some important things we want to highlight. The Declaration of Independence. You can see the picture over here. And then it was signed July 4th, 1776. That's why that's such an important day. And finish reading. Though it wasn't the end of the war or conflicts, but oh, there were shouts, excitement, and cheers. The Liberty Bell pealed. Here's the Liberty Bell right here. And read. There was laughter and tears. The battle raged on, but the people could see a new country was coming, and soon they'd be free. Great job reading. Okay, now it's your turn to tell the story of July 4th. I have some pictures and words to help you. Look at these first pictures and think of a sentence that you can say. You could say, first, there were 13 colonies in America. Okay, now look at the next set of pictures and words. Say a sentence. You could say, next, the colonists had to pay taxes to King George in Great Britain. Many colonists were angry. Okay, look at this set of pictures and words. Say a sentence. You could say, then the colonists wanted independence. Okay, let's look at the next set of pictures and words. Say a sentence. You could say, so some colonists wrote the Declaration of Independence. It was signed on July 4th, 1776. All right, now let's look at this last picture and words. Say a sentence. You could say, last, every year on July 4th, Americans celebrate Independence Day or America's birthday. Thank you for watching this lesson. You can repeat it as many times as you need to until you can tell the story of July 4th. Have a great day.